By with how things are going there, and a look at the forecast this weekend. That Matt has a chance of rainfall.
We do, finally, right? Because things are so bone dry. We've got red flag warnings everywhere, extreme wildfire risk that was expanded all across the natural state. Oklahoma doesn't have a similar rating system, but it would probably be also in that extreme category. But we're having a great day here at our Day of Giving for the Give Where You Live food drive. We're here at the Lowell and Harps right off of I-49. It's been a huge success so far. They're bringing another bin in order to have more space to put some of these bags. We've got $5, $10, $15 bags. That's one way you can donate. You can just come up to the counter with some of your other groceries, say I would like to donate, and then you get to take the bag and you get to physically put it in the bin. Other ways that you can donate, you don't necessarily have to get a bag. You could go get some perishable food items like soup, some different veggies, maybe some rice, different things like that, and you can kind of build your own little basket and put it in as well. Or you may just have some things in the pantry. I know I do. You can probably collect some of those, bring it in, maybe things you weren't going to use, and you can bring them here if they're still not going to be expired, and you can also drop those off. So several different ways that you can donate. And then on top of that, we would love for you guys, if you could, when you drop off a bag, you can take a quick selfie, snap a picture with your bag, and then you can text it to Channel 5. All you have to do is text 479-785-5000, and then we're going to collect all these photos, and it should be a lot of fun. So that's the Give Where You Live campaign. We've got beautiful weather to come out this evening. It's stunning here in Lowell. We've got temperatures in the low 80s. It feels like summer, but that's about to change. We've got a big cold front to talk about. I want to show you some of these maps right now. We've got a huge cold front just barreling through Iowa and Nebraska. This is the strongest cold front that we're going to have so far of this season. It's going to be dropping temperatures from the 80s that we have now to maybe 20s by Wednesday morning. We're talking about a huge drop underway. But in that transition time this weekend, as it arrives, we've got some rain chances to talk about. But this evening, we're fine. Maybe you're headed to some high school football games. We've got our football Friday night game of the week. Gentry's headed south to Ozark to take on the Hillbillies. We'll be in the 70s for that game. In Northwest Arkansas, we're just now trying to get out of the 80s into the 70s. We should be in the 60s by about 8 o'clock. In the River Valley, we still have 80s for probably another hour or so, and then we'll slip into the 70s. We may not hit the 60s until closer to midnight because of that southwest wind. It's been blowing pretty strong this afternoon. We've had wind speeds between 20 to 30 miles per hour. But this weekend, a lot of weather changes underway. That cold front starts to arrive Saturday evening, bringing us storm chances. So when you're waking up tomorrow morning, it's still going to be pretty sunny and fairly mild. But then later in the day, close to sunset, storms will start to fire up all across Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and the mountains, and then press south throughout the overnight hours and into Sunday morning. And then Sunday, we're going to try to wrap things up. So here's an hour-by-hour look at your Saturday forecast. We'll start in the 50s. We'll be a little bit warmer than we were this morning. We'll probably still get to the 80s, but then watch out for those storm chances as we get close to dinner time. But the first half of the day looks great. In the River Valley, our storm chances will probably come in just right around sunset and after sunset. It's the River Valley that we may get the most rain out of the storm system. And on top of the rain, because there's so much cold air, it's really easy for even some weak showers to try to produce some small hail. We could have some hail with some of these storms. I want to show you Futurecast. We'll time things out for you. First half of Saturday, fantastic. But later in the evening, we're going to watch some of these storms fire up. They're going to be over the Northwest Arkansas area, the mountains, the River Valley, and then they'll all press south. So the River Valley definitely has a good chance of getting some of this rain. As you're waking up Sunday morning, we'll still probably have some clouds left over and maybe some spotty showers, but generally most of the rain will push south into southern Arkansas, southern Oklahoma, and into North Texas. But how much rainfall are we expecting? Remember, these storms are very scattered, so not everyone's going to get the same amount. And sometimes we may get avoided a little bit, but there's some folks that might try to get an inch or two. I think you saw that model trying to produce several inches in some spots. It just really depends on individual cells and where they're landing, but there could be some downpours that a few of us get a healthy amount of rain. Remember, we had a downpour in the eastern part of Logan County 2 days ago that dropped about 1.5 inches or so. But the biggest storm threat will be in the River Valley, and it comes in Saturday evening, right around sunset, and into the overnight hours. We'll wrap things up Sunday morning. And then after the rain chances, guys, it's going to get chilly. Not just only do we have a freeze possible, but we're starting to get in the danger territory of even getting close to a hard freeze, especially Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning, where we've got 20s in the forecast. And the ground temperature is usually about 4 to 5 degrees colder than that. So very cold conditions coming up. Afternoons are chilly. Afternoons will be in the 50s. In the River Valley, we've got 60s for highs next week, barely even getting the 60s on Tuesday. And some of our mornings, Darren, will be in the 30s. We've got a huge drop coming next week. But in the meantime, Darren, a little bit of rain is finally in the forecast. And if it does become severe, we're going to track it for you tomorrow. Darren.
All right, Matt, thanks. Appreciate that. Still ahead, Halloween almost here. That means it's time to visit some